there, my darlings. How are we? So I've got some exciting stuff for you today. I have the new Fenty Beauty collection with me. Okay. Y'all already know my skin is mad oily. It is temperamental. I've got lots of redness. So my jam was the foundation. When I heard she came out with a 40 shades of foundation, 40, y'all, 40. Yo, other companies, y'all need to take note. 40 shades. I was blown away, and I was like, I need to give this a try because that's legit to me. You know, we in the makeup industry, we're looking for brands like this that are inclusive of everybody, from the lightest of the lightest to the darkest of the darkest beauties. So yeah, I'm gonna try that. So I ran over to my nearest Sephora that was carrying it. Shout out to the chicks at Shore Hills, New Jersey. Let me show you the packaging. So here's the foundation. I think it's absolutely beautiful. The glass is, what do you call it? It's mattified. It has a nice sturdy cap. It doesn't feel cheap at all, and it has a really good pump to it. And I am in the shade 260, and this is called the Pro Filter foundation, and hopefully you can see that. I like that it's water-based, so they do recommend that you shake it up before you use it, which means there are no oils in there to add to an already oily face. It's meant to have a soft matte finish, great for oily skin. And let me just check my receipt for the price. It was $34. So honestly, that's not that bad when you think of other brands that are up in the $60, $70, $80 range. I wasn't too mad at that. I also picked up the contouring trio, which, y'all, look at this. Doink. They are magnetic. Bomb. Because how many of y'all be losing this stuff? So individually, these sticks are $25. However, if you purchase them in the trio, they were $54. So I picked up the medium trio because right now I've got a bit of a tan going on, even though the lights belie it. But I thought it was really innovative that they do stick together. This is really nice for makeup artists who would like to carry the entire range in their kit. So as they stack together, they kind of form little honeycomb shapes. The last thing that I picked up was this highlighting duo, lightning dust and fire crystal, and hopefully you can see that as well. And this duo was also $34. A little steep because looking at the packaging on the inside, I mean, you do have the Fenty Beauty mark right there. Let me flip it upside down so you can see what they look like. So this shade here is much more natural, and this one here is going to give you a bumped up glow. The only thing I would say about this palette though is that for $34, I don't know if you can see, but the packaging looks a little bit cheap. It's kind of like coming off of the centers. It was pressed kind of in a weird way. Maybe mine just happens to have an inconsistency. I'm not trying to bash the brands. The other more popular highlighter was Trophy Wife, and that one is straight, pure, like 24 karat gold. There was no way that I was gonna pull that off, but I'm sure there's plenty of YouTubers out there that have done tutorials using it, and I hear that it is absolutely beautiful. And it really was in store. I got to swatch it and play with it. That being said, we're gonna move into a bit of a tutorial. Now, I'll be honest with you, I have used this foundation now for 2 days straight, and I've been happy with it, but I want you guys to make your own decision upon this foundation. So I'm gonna demo it for you, and then I'll check in throughout the day so you can see how it wears, if it really is helping control my oils, if it breaks up, yada yada. Get the point. By the way, guys, you like my shirt? Look, it says lattes and lipstick. Okay, I just had to show you that because I was mad excited about it. The first time that I applied it, I did use my Beauty Blender with my L'Oreal Beauty Blender, which is like dirty with the foundation on it, but feel me? Do you wash your Beauty Blender every day? I don't. Okay. So I'm going to moisten it with some of my rose water. I love this stuff. It's from Pearlescence. I'm going to do half of my face with the Beauty Blender and the other half with a brush so that we can compare and see which side we like better. So I'm just going to go in and tap it onto my skin. What I found was that with the moistened Beauty Blender, it sheared out the foundation a little bit. It has a nice like medium coverage to it, like a high medium coverage to it. I wouldn't say it's a full coverage at all, although you can probably already see that it's doing a pretty decent job at hiding my pores. And I kind of forgot to mention that I did use my Kiehl's whatchamahoots Daily Reviving Concentrate. I love this stuff and it smells really good. And I also primed with a primer that is similar to the one from the Fenty Beauty, which would be the MAC Prep and Prime. It's about the same consistency. Here is, did you like that? So here is one layer on half of my face using the sponge. If I pull back a little bit, you're gonna see I have a whole lot less redness. My skin tone looks a lot more even. However, you can still see a lot of the redness from some of my former acne scars and some of my rosacea right there. So you can go in and build upon the coverage, which I like. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more onto the sponge and tap it on there. That being said, obviously you guys know that you use a whole lot more foundation when you're using a booty bender. So if I get the same coverage with a brush as the beauty blender and I use less product, guess what mama's gonna be doing, okay? Let me just hit up half my nose. It's like the weirdest thing when you look at yourself and you're like, yes, yes. You're scaring yourself, Marisol, you're scaring yourself, girl. Okay, so that's about as good as it's gonna get right now. I'm hoping that you can see I have enlarged pores right here. Sorry that I'm all up in your face, but it is what it is. I'd rather be truthful with you than to not come up close and let you see what it looks like. So it did do a pretty decent job at hiding my pores on this side. However, there are a few that are accentuated, but that's nothing that can't be taken care of with a little bit of powder on top. By the touch, it's only been like a minute since I've had it on. And I will say that this foundation dries down to a beautiful soft matte finish. So if you are not inclined to powder your face, you really don't have to. If you're as oily as I am, dust some on because it will help throughout the day. Okay, so that's that side with the booty bender. Then I'm gonna grab the same foundation brush that I've been using for the past couple days. It's my Sonia Kashuk Tools number 4. It's just like a regular flat kabuki. I'm not gonna wet it or anything. I just take one pump of the foundation and kind of like blob it around there. And I'm gonna go to town. So I just usually dot it all over my face. I would work rather quickly with this foundation because it tends to set quickly. So don't do your whole face, just work section by section. And that's my best advice to you. Also, because it's a water base, I suggest pressing it into the skin. If you see I'm not really dragging it along my skin, I'm just pushing it. And that will help with the coverage as well if you need extra coverage. So you can see that was a whole lot faster, and I'm getting the same result on this side as my face. Probably like even a better result, I would say, than with the Beauty Blender on this side. So for me, the brush it is. I know there were a few reviews out there where women preferred, well, ladies and gents, preferred using the Booty Blender, but because I have a bit more redness and a bit more, I would say a few more problematic areas to my skin, I want a little bit extra coverage here, and the rest of my face, I don't really care. It can be less coverage. Okay. So what do you think, guys? I think it looks beautiful. Like if I come up close into my mirror, my skin looks like skin. It doesn't really look like I have 6 pumps of foundation on it, which is amazing. It feels light. I don't feel it on my skin. And in fact, yesterday night I actually forgot that I had it on my face, which is pretty phenomenal because usually by the end of the night I'm like itching to take my makeup off. Go in now and do our contouring. So I'm gonna start with Bamboo, which is the highlighting shade of the trio, and that's the shade. I'm on the fence about these trios. So what I do like about them is that even though they're in stick form, they are creamy enough where you can apply them without dragging your skin. It's not that much of a highlighting shade for me, which is good because I don't like to be super stark. Okay. I am not those girls that will do my highlight and my contour at the same time. I can't deal with that shit. I would do it separately. I'm using my Royal Langnickel Moda brush in M03. It's their contour brush with a pretty silver barrel to just blend this out. So typically I'm not one for products like this, like cream contours and cream highlights, because I am oily. So I try to stay away from cream products as much as possible. But that being said, these haven't been that much of an issue, just because they, even though they are cream, they're slightly on the powdery side. So they're a drier formula, but they do blend out nicely. I can't complain about that. However, are they necessary? If you like cream contours and cream highlights, sure. If you're like me, save your money. Okay. So as you can see, this brush is not dense at all. It's actually quite fluffy. So for a fluffy brush, it's actually blending out really nicely, which speaks to the quality of the product. So it's not overly waxy or drying. Okay, so that's the highlight. Okay, now we're going to switch to Mr. Contour. Ah! I'm almost ready to drop my shit. Good thing they're magnetic. Okay, so here is Mocha. And it looks rather dark, but don't be scared. So you can go very lightly, or you can go super heavy with these. It just depends on how snatched you want to look. I always like to thin out my nose. I'm gonna look a little crazy right now, but that's okay. Mama needs to hide this shit. Yes, she does. So guys, if you've tried the line, what have you loved so far? And yes, I am using the same brush because I plan on washing this afterward, so no big deal. So hopefully you can see that they do blend out. It just takes a little bit of work, but it creates a nice shadow right there. Obviously the contour shade is going to take a little more elbow grease to blend out, but it's doable. So hopefully you can see you can't really see any streaks. It's just a bit of a shadow now. So I'm going to go up here and do the same thing, just blend this into my temples. I'm just going to work right now, so I don't want to like overly do my face. So I'm just gonna take it easy with this contour. I'll walk in and be like, boom, where you going, girl? I know my coworkers. Okay, let's see, here's the true test. What do you think, guys? Okay. Now I'm going to pinch the brush and just run down the sides of my nose. And smooth it out. Now we're gonna move into the highlight. So this shade, I don't like that the sticker keeps kind of like falling off of this. Sticker quality, I know. First world problems, whatever. So the shade of this Trippin' is actually really pretty. It's like a rosy gold. Hopefully you can see that. So what I've been liking is just running my brush over the highlight, and I got this tip from Alyssa. Y'all probably all follow her anyway. She is such a beauty. She found that running her brush across the sticks provided better blendability for her, so I figured that might be a good trick for the highlight since I'm not one to use too much of a highlight. So I'm just gonna dab it into my skin. And I will pull one of these jobs so you can see what it looks like. I am going to stop here. I'm going to finish up the rest of my face, and then I'll come back to show you the powder highlights. Alright guys, I'm back. Finished the rest of my face. I've got some of the Morphe 35R palette on my eyes. I have Benefit's California blush on, and one of my favorite glosses from Buxom, which is the shade Dolly. It's really pretty. And it makes them extra juicy. Y'all know I like that. Against my better judgment, we are going to try this highlighter and hope that I don't look like a disco ball by the end of the night. What I think I'm gonna do to preserve my face at this point is use the lighter highlight on my cheeks and show you how the stronger highlight works on my inner corners. Deal? Please don't be mad at me. Look, I'll even swatch them on my hand for you. All right, here's a lighter one. So this one's called Lightning Dust. So that's Lightning Dust right there. Very, very natural, very pretty. And here comes a fire crystal. So even on the finger, it's like boom. So that is what I'm afraid of with my oily skin. Way shiny. I'm going in with the lighter one. Just humor me here. Ooh, that's pretty. Sorry if the light keeps fading in. I am sitting in front of my windows and I just got a bristle on my lip. Ew. And hopefully you can see that. I'll go down slightly the center of my nose, but that's like the oiliest spot on my face. And I'll use just a little bit on the tip of my nose. And on my Cupid's bow. That's quite pretty. Let me go in with my favorite inner corner highlighting brush, which is actually by Real Techniques. Let me see, it's a 201. And this is what it looks like. I know it looks mad dirty right now, but I swear I cleaned it off on my color switch, and that's what made it that color. Yeah, you dirty hoe. Okay, here goes. Ooh. That's quite pretty. I wouldn't justify keeping it though, just to highlight my inner corners. I've got other stuff, like there are some Tarte shadows that are amazing for inner corner highlights that are in like the holiday palettes. Ooh! I'm just trying to build it up so you can really see what it can do. But it is a glowing. I am tempted to spray my face with setting spray, however, I just want to sort of let it do what it wants to do throughout the day without fussing too much with it and without locking it in place. I just really want to see what the foundation can do. So right now, looking at my skin, it looks healthy. I wouldn't say it looks oily. It is mattified in all the right places. You can obviously, where I put the highlight on, everywhere else looks pretty damn good right now. So at the time that I stopped the video where I was fully done with my face, it was 11:45. So right now it's 12:05. So it's only been 20 minutes and so far it's holding up pretty well. It doesn't, I know it's like, Marisol, it's only been 20 minutes, girl. But when you have oily skin, every minute is like a ticking time bomb. All right, so I will check in probably like around 4 or 5 o'clock and then check in with you at night before I wash off my face. But so far, so good. One warning though is that this foundation does oxidize a bit. So my advice to you is to swatch it in store. Do not buy it online. Make sure you swatch it in store. Walk around for a couple minutes, let it sit on your skin and dry, and then choose the shade that matches you, which is exactly what I had to do because right now it's matching perfectly, but if you go back into the beginning of the video, you'll see it was a bit lighter than the rest of my face, and I did not use any bronzer. I just used my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in medium tan in order to finish up my face. So that being said, I'll check y'all in a couple hours, and fingers crossed, y'all. Hey guys, so I'm here outside my house. I just got out of work, having my cafe, my light and sweet. It's been 7 hours since I applied this foundation. So as you can see, my face is definitely showing some signs of oiliness. It is, however, definitely not as oily as it normally would be had I worn other foundations that were not meant to control oils. It's holding up. I mean, I'll bring you in close. You see, like, there's no breaking up around my nose, no breaking up around my mouth, nothing breaking up around the forehead. It clearly is oily, but it's not that bad so far. So kudos, yay. Hey boo-boos. Okay, so, you like my kitty ears? Meow. All right, dolls, so it's the end of the day. Mama done took off her work clothes, took down my hair, and this is what is left of Fenty Beauty. It's been 10 hours since I applied the foundation and all the other jazz this morning. If you look at my face, I'm gonna come up real close. I look like an oil slick. You can squeeze my face and fry your eggs in the morning with my face. Enough of the dramatic, let's get to the real gist of this section of the video. So what I wanted to do is show you that my face is massively oily. So the claims that the foundation is good for oily skin, no. I mean, it's good for oily skin, but up until a certain point. So I would suggest having your blotting papers with you or a translucent powder to mop up your oils throughout the day. Fenty Beauty did release a blotting tissue roll that magnetizes to the translucent powder, the only one that the line carries. So those two kind of like snap together, which is really cute. However, I'm not paying $16 for no roll of blotting papers, so I have some of my leftover Boscia green tea blotters that I had gotten free from like a Sephora gift or whatever. So what I want to do is use these to mop up my face a little bit, but before that I'm going to come in and show you that the foundation, even though I am this oily, it has not broken up anywhere along my face. Like, the fact that the foundation did not break up is a testament to the quality of the product, regardless of whether or not it really provided protection from oils. That being said, I will still continue using the foundation because I like that, because there are very few foundations that will not break up on your face after you have this much oil on them. But in case you never believe that I'm oily, how's that? You like that? Yeah, I like that too. Alright, so at least I'll never get wrinkles and get old. So let's see what happens when I blot my skin. Oh shit, that's pretty amazing. If you look, okay, that is freaking disgusting. But do you notice what I notice? The paper is still green. It is not the color of the foundation, which means that the foundation itself is still on my face. That's great. That's great news. Okay, I'm gonna need like 30 of these sheets at this point. How gross. Sorry guys, but all in the name of science. Look at that. Look at that. Jesus. This is disgusting. I feel like freaking Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's like it puts the lotion on its skin. If you didn't laugh at that, something's wrong with you. Just saying. I gotta say, the foundation still, after 10 hours and after being blotted, looks pretty good. It's pretty impressive. That's really impressive. Okay, so now what I want to do is grab some trusted setting powder. This is the Mary Kay Mineral Powder Foundation in shade 0.5. And I do take the sifter out because I feel like the sifter's a pain in the ass. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this to see if you can really tell that I'm putting foundation on top. You know, like the cakiness that happens after you repowder your face. So let's see what happens. Guys, it doesn't look bad at all. Okay, I'm coming in close so you can see. Hopefully, guys, I'm sorry. My ring light is having fun with itself. Hopefully you can see that despite the fact that I'm adding another layer of powder to my skin, it really doesn't look like it really doesn't look like I'm getting too cakey. Wow. I'm like mad impressed. Ignore the eyeshadow, but I mean, focus on the skin. I just repowdered over 10-hour-old foundation that was caked in oil. And it looks pretty fucking good. Okay. Alright, Fenty. Alright, Rihanna. I see you. Final thoughts. Foundation, I'm loving so far. This is my 3rd day using it. The fact that I just slopped off all that oil and powdered again and it still looks pretty decent after 10 hours of wear, awesome. The contouring sticks, not a fan. I'm sorry, it is the truth. They're okay. They're okay quality. I wouldn't say they're garbage. I mean, they're innovative in the fact that they're magnetic. It's pretty cool that they come in a shit ton of shades. However, for me, they do not function for my purposes. They may for you, and that is totally cool. So I'm not trying to bash any of the products in any way, shape, or form. To each their own. And also with the dual highlighters, the kilowatts, these, they're not for me. They're beautiful, okay? So they are high quality. The packaging, I think, could be of a higher standard than it is for what you're paying for it, a cool 30 bucks. But it's not for me because I am so oily, as I've stated before. If you are the type of person that loves highlighters and you're addicted to that, like my homegirl Chas, I see you, boo. This may be the perfect choice for you. All in all, I've got to say I'm pretty impressed with Rihanna's foundation. I think she did a bang-up job at helping design 40 shades of a foundation. It's very inclusive of all people. It wears well. The price point isn't terrible. And I'm happy with it. I don't think it oxidized much throughout the day. If you can see, it's pretty much still the same color as the rest of my body. So I love it. I gotta say, thumbs up for the foundation. Not much of a fan of the rest of the stuff, but that's okay. I'm happy with having a new Holy Grail foundation. Alright guys, so if this video was helpful to you in any way, shape, or form, please hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe. I love you all, and I hope you have an amazing day. And if you do decide to try out Fenty Beauty, let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Alright y'all, bye. Mwah. Shake, 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 shake your booty. Okay, let me stop.